If you've just tuned in, then in all likelihood you know us from BookTok, where we've been hinting about this for a little while now. But in case you don't know us and you found us, my name's Tor.
And I'm Bronte.
And this is our new podcast.
Woohoo! We should probably tell them about the name.
We should tell them about the name because I feel like some people are just going to get it and some people are going to be like,
Is that a typo?
It's not a typo. It is an inside joke. Our group of book friends that came together all from meeting through TikTok.
Yeah.
We call each other girl.
Girl. I feel like it came because autocorrect did it, and one time, yeah. I think it may have been someone put it accidentally with autocorrect, and then we were like, it sounds like the guy from Despicable Me. So then we just started calling each other girl. And
we all say it differently. Girl.
I can't say it other than girl. So yeah,
that is why we were Gorls Unplugged.
Yeah.
So that is where the name Gorls Unplugged came from. And to be honest, you're probably going to hear us say weird words in sentences. You're going to be like, what the hell is that? You can guarantee it's an inside joke from our group of friends.
Yeah. And also, I guess a lot of our followers, you're probably from the US. So you're probably going to have to get used to the British potty mouth. Yeah. We swear a lot.
So if you don't like swearing, definitely don't listen to this podcast.
If you don't like swearing, fuck off.
Get fucked.
We're just basic bitches. Here to talk about life. Girl chat.
Yeah. I mean, we are going to talk books on this podcast because we are book girlies at heart. We both read romance, fantasy, and then we have some other genre. I'm reading a bit of non-fiction at the moment. Bronte likes a bit of thriller and...
yeah, a bit of everything.
Yeah. So you will hear about books, but it's not going to be mainly books because there is so much more to our lives than just BookTok, which is kind of where the idea for this came from.
Yeah. Shall we tell them a little bit about us and our BookTok journey?
Let's do it.
You start.
That felt really cheesy.
No, I liked it.
Guys, you have to forgive us. This is our first time, okay? We're feeling a bit awkward, so
it's a little bit weird having all the gear. You don't normally do that for YouTube and TikTok.
No.
So we're out of our comfort zone a little bit.
But we're loving life.
Yeah.
So I'm Tor. I live in Berkshire in the UK. Please don't come and stalk me because I might get a little bit excited about that. This is the dark romance reader of me coming out. I am a wife, I am a mum, I'm a stepmom, I am a corporate girl, I have a full-time corporate role outside of being a part-time content creator and now official podcaster. And my life is genuinely so chaotic, so hectic, but it never used to be. And I feel like that's how I ended up getting into the content space. Before getting into social media content creation, I was on maternity leave and feeling a little bit low. I suffered with really bad postnatal depression after my first pregnancy especially. And one day during lockdown, my sister handed me Throne of Glass and was like, you need to read this, get back into reading, get out of your head a little bit. And that is how I ended up getting back so much into reading because I was an avid reader as a child. And after I had my son, I wanted to go a little bit further with it, and me and a couple of my friends and my sister were reading the same books at the same time, and Ellie was already on BookTok and on Bookstagram, and I was like, let's just create an Instagram account, do reviews on. So that's kind of where it started, and I started reading Zodiac Academy, and my best friend Amy was like, I need you to create a video like this for me. It wasn't like an aesthetics video of a book, but she was like, I need a video like this, but for Zodiac Academy. And I created a TikTok and just kind of threw something together. And so my TikTok was born, and it started slow and very steady in the first 12 months. And then all of a sudden it was like, I don't know, it just grew. And then, you know, here I am now. I'm on TikTok mainly. That's my main social media platform. And I have a small Instagram account, which I don't post on as much. TikTok is definitely like my main focus. And although I've moved outside of the book niche. I still post a lot about books, talk a lot about books and what I'm reading, but I also post about being a mum, my general lifestyle, because like we said earlier, I just feel like there's so much more to me than just being like a BookTok girl. And I want to show people that you can have your fucking cake and eat it too.
Love that. It's true though, you can. We do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Both of us.
100%. Busy girls.
Yeah, busy. Shall I go?
Yes.
Okay, so I am Bronte, as hopefully a lot of you who are here already know. I grew up in the Midlands in the UK before I moved to London, so that's where the accent is from. Sound a little bit more common than tall. When I grew up, I had quite bad health conditions, so all of my hobbies revolved around being inside pretty much and like being introverted. But my journey into content creation was a little bit different to Tor's, because I actually started years ago in makeup. So I actually did makeup content creation for a very, very long time, like 3 years, I think. So now equal to how much I've done BookTok, but I did makeup content creation on Instagram. I would literally do like 6-hour makeup looks every day. And then I just kind of gradually just wanted to stop doing it. It was a lot of effort. My skin didn't like it very much. It was just, I outgrew that hobby, I would say. And then that is when I got more into, or back, I should say, into reading. Because I was a lifelong reader like you. I read a lot as a child. My mum, my dad, my cousin, my aunties, like everyone in my family is a reader, my sister. So I got back into reading, probably I would say 2019, I think it was. And then I started a new job the year after, and I was working with one of my very, very close friends, shout out Sarah, and I was talking about TikTok with her, and I was saying like, oh my god, I keep seeing all these BookTok videos, and she was like, you read so much and you read so fast, you should do it. And I was like, no, like, isn't that a bit cringe, like at my big age? That's literally what I said. And she was like, no, it's not cringe at all. And because she's like a very honest Capricorn.
Okay.
I was like, I can trust Sarah with this. She'd tell me if it was cringe.
Yeah.
So I did it. And like Tor, my account was very slow and steady in the first year. And then it picked up a bit in the second year. And that's where we kind of are now. We just keep growing our channels. I also do mostly TikTok. But I did just start a YouTube, and I feel like I really love YouTube because I am a certified yapper. My reviews are long and wordy. I can really go deep on the book reviews. So yeah, I'm on there. I'm also on Instagram. Instagram I'm hit and miss with. Like sometimes I'll post a lot, sometimes I won't post much. Depends. And then I've also recently started a Substack, which I'm very excited about. If you don't know, Substack is like a written newsletter almost, and so you can write your reviews or write about anything and it will send them out as an email to your subscribers. So I've recently started doing that. But yeah, I think that's a little bit about me. We're probably going to do some other get to know you type videos anyway, where you can learn a little bit more about like our hobbies and our interests.
Yeah.
But that is the basics of how I came to be on social media.
And social media is actually how we met. So believe it or not, for two people that probably seem like they've known each other forever. We actually only met 2.5 years ago now. 3 years? 2 years. 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we met because of TikTok. My sister was in Jade's book club. You were in Jade's book club. And my sister was meeting up with Bronte and someone else in the book club in London, and the wussy pussy that Ellie is, she was like, will you come with me? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I've seen Bronte's content, she's really cool. I'd love to meet her. And we just hit it off, really, didn't we?
Well, actually, I feel like we had that meet up, but then we didn't speak again for a while.
Except just through TikTok.
Yeah. And then...
it was the Twilight reread.
Yeah, which, that was because of Sammy, so... shout out Sammy.
All these things bringing us together.
Yeah, and all these different people. So our friend Sammy, who is also on BookTok, wanted to set up like a nostalgic Twilight reread. and we all decided to do it, and we got put in a group chat together. When we were on that group chat, we realised that quite a lot of us were either reading or had read Zodiac Academy.
It's what really truly brought us together.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Twisted Sisters.
Yeah, everything comes back to Zodiac Academy. So we made another group chat, which was literally called AS, after Zodiac Academy, Almighty Sovereign Society.
Yeah.
And then from there, it became like this weird codependent speak every day.
Literally. And it's still, to this day, like that was probably about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And still, to this day, we all speak to each other most days. The group has grown a bit since then.
Yeah.
It was a smaller group of us in the beginning. But on the journey, we've made some amazing friends that will be true friends for life. And I continue to meet and make so many friends through that platform. It's uncanny. The BookTok community is phenomenal. It's like the friendliest side of BookTok that we're on anyway. There are some dodgy sides of it, 100%.
Yeah.
But in general, like we're so lucky with a group of people that we've become friends with through that app.
Yeah, 100%. And 2 of them were the ones that encouraged us to start this podcast.
They are. Another shout out.
Jamie and Soph. We love you.
We do. I was doing some lives. Bronte and I had discussed a podcast a couple of times before.
Yeah.
Probably over the last 18 months, I would say. Just in passing. It'd be it'd be such a cool thing to do. And it wasn't the right time of life for either of us, I don't think.
No, I had wanted to do a podcast for years, years, but I just didn't know what about and who with. I knew I wanted to do it with someone.
And I've wanted to do one since Olivia Atwood started hers, because I'm just obsessed with her and think she's really cool. So I was on some TikTok lives last year, and Jamie, we were chatting on there, and Jamie and Soph were just like, you guys need to start a podcast. So we were like, we really do need to start a podcast.
Yeah, it was kind of like a wait a minute moment.
Light bulb!
Yeah. Ding.
So here we are. That was in November last year. It's taken us a little while to get here, but slow and steady wins the race and all that.
Yeah.
And here is episode number 1.
So for context, as we talked about earlier, we do want to talk about books on the podcast, but it is going to be about more than that, because like we said, there's just so much more to our lives and our personalities. Obviously, I mentioned earlier my experience with chronic illness, and Tor has her own experiences with different things, whether that may be neurodiversity or mental health as well. And so each week the podcast is just going to be exploring all of those different things that are important to us. So one day we might talk about the chronic illness, and the next we might talk about P. Diddy or just anything in pop culture. It's essentially like the vibe is what you would talk to your friend about when you're not on a podcast. Like just a FaceTime
girl
vibe.
Chat. Yeah.
Girl chat.
Girls
Unplugged
is the vibe.
Yeah.
And as well as us, we'll have other people on the podcast. We are all about women supporting women. We fucking love a bit of girl power. We'd love to have authors on here, content creators, and not just women, men as well. We are positive, happy people that want to just spread the love, good vibes. So whether you're a new or established author, a content creator in the peak of their career, or someone just starting out, we want to have people from all different walks of life on here. And if you have ideas, you have things that you want to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments below. Our DMs are always open. We're always happy to hear from people, because we just fucking love making new friends on the internet, contrary to what our parents told us growing up.
Yeah, and we also just love yapping. We could talk for England.
We literally could.
Sometimes we're late to even starting the podcast because we've been talking for so long.
Bronte got here 2 hours before we started this today. We were supposed to get 2 episodes filmed. Let's see if we can squeeze it in.
Yeah, so I don't think us having enough to say is ever going to be a problem. Let's just put it that way. Although, I will say that although we both love to chat, and we do have a lot of those things that I mentioned before in common, we actually have a lot of differences too. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason we wanted to start the podcast, because although we're like best friends, we have completely different lifestyles. Yeah. Could not be more different. And we have a lot of different hobbies and interests and things and opinions sometimes too. So we thought it would be quite interesting to explore those, and quite a good back and forth and a contrast to each other.
Yeah, 100%.
So some of those similarities, I would say one thing we definitely have in common is our outlook on life.
Yeah, definitely.
We're both very much motivated people. We want to do better. We want to be the best that we can be.
Yeah.
We want to be positive, happy people, I would say.
Career driven. We're both very into, one of the best things about becoming a content creator has been having someone to come on this journey with, for me. Like, for any highs and lows, smallest things, like when people started reaching out to me for like paid ads, or if my traffic was slow, it was so nice having someone to lean on that I just knew got it. Because as much as I love my friends I grew up with, they're my whole world, they didn't get it. Neither did my husband. It was like, I don't have anyone else to talk to about this. And I feel like that definitely like increased the way that our friendship kind of like manifested over the last couple of years and grew like from strength to strength.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's a very niche, weird job or industry to be in, and like you say, no one can really understand it unless they do it. And even if they do it, unless they're at a similar level to you, it varies so much in their experience. So that's definitely one thing we have in common.
Something else we also majorly have in common is we're both astrology obsessed girlies.
Oh my god, we are.
If you went into our Instagram DMs, I can guarantee you half of them are like Leo as a fantasy character, Leo as a dragon, Gemini as a queen, like, I don't know, just so much astrology based shit. Even like the funny stuff, but also even when we first started seriously talking about the podcast, we were both getting so many things pop up in our astrology based like Instagram feeds.
I literally had one that said start a podcast.
It was crazy, like so many things that just really pointed us in the direction of this, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something we have in common.
For sure.
But for all the things that we have in common, we also have so many things that we're different, like completely different taste in music, completely different vibes. Like, we probably look like we have similar vibes right now, but actually Bronte's vibe is typically like a bit darker, gothic.
Yeah.
I'm very much like clean girl aesthetic. I fucking live in activewear. Like, I'm in a hoodie and jeans right now, but Monday to Sunday really, I live in activewear. We're just different vibes and that kind of thing.
For sure. Like, I was very much in the emo kind of thing, like era when I was a teenager. I definitely still carry that with me now. I am clean girl in the sense that I don't like patterns.
That she's clean, she's not a dirty bitch.
Yeah, sometimes. No, just kidding. I don't like patterns. I will definitely dress quite neutral.
That's probably a similarity for us.
Yeah,
like simple.
That's where we cross over. Like, even though mine's a lot darker and a little bit more alternative, we do actually cross over quite a lot in that way as well. So it's very funny to see how it is almost like yin and yang, but
I was
the colours...
literally about to say yin and yang. Yeah. It was like a mind meld moment.
You see, we're just on the right vibe here. But yeah, so we will explore some of those similarities and differences, obviously, as we talk about different topics as well, and our opinions on things will probably be very different on different subjects. It's shaped by our experiences, whether that is the chronic illness and mental health or something else entirely. So in future episodes, you can expect to see us talk about those things and just, like get into different subjects and see where the differences lie, where the similarities lie, and we'd love to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts as well.
Yeah. And if you see us do this a lot, don't be alarmed. It's just like our
mating dance.
That is not what I was going to say.
It's like what's it called?
It's like some girls do this, we do this.
So yeah, those episodes as well will probably be like every 2 weeks we're hoping for. We're going to see you every fortnight, not every week. That's a little bit too much. No one wants to hear us yap that much, I don't think.
Unless we get really established and famous and you guys love to hear us talk constantly and we can squeeze more into our lives, every fortnight will kind of be the cadence for now.
So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you didn't know, you can find this podcast on Spotify, Apple and YouTube. And you can also find us on TikTok and Instagram at Gorls Unplugged. Remember, it's an O, not an I on the girls. And then if you want to follow us individually as well, you can find me personally on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube and Substack, all at the username Bronte's Books.
And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, although I don't post much on there at the moment, but that could change later in the year, at Tor's Next Chapter.
Don't forget to subscribe to all of our channels so you can be sure to see us next time. But until then, bye!